Sorry that, guys. Uh, Thumb problem. Thumb touched the screen. Gotta say. Right, and we'll start again, all right? The post I'm going to read is called A Scottish Threat to UK Security. You probably heard that from David Lammy et al., that's the Defence Secretary, whatever, saying that the SNP were a threat to the UK. It was the post is fully researched and written completely by me on the 9th of November using information openly sourced from the web and other sources or other places. Over the last week, we've heard this broadcast from the ruling Labour government in Westminster in England. The Scottish threat they speak of is the Party of Scottish Independence, the SNP. There are two main reasons why they say this, and they are as follows. Item one, after independence, the Royal Navy would be forced to remove its presence at Fastlane, the nuclear submarine base on the River Clyde, by the independent government of Scotland, which at that time would be the SNP. Number two, the SNP's opposition to new nuclear generation of electricity. So let's take them one by one. Item one, there can be few issues that consistently concern the people of Scotland more than the continued existence of atomic weapons and nuclear power submarines on the Clyde. First, it paints a target on Scotland for any attack. Most likely, an attack would use atomic missiles and would destroy not just the base, but a large area in the west of Scotland, an area high in population, including the city of Glasgow and all the Inverclyde towns and villages. There's the contamination that takes place, not just once in a while, but every single hour the base of Fastlane exists. The main contaminants are tritium, accidentally released and given off from the stored atomic weapons, and cobalt 60 poured directly into the River Clyde from the onboard nuclear piles of the submarines docked there. As the submarines produce all the electricity from the onboard modular nuclear power station, it's never off, and the coolant used is water from the Clyde taken in and filtered before running around the nuclear pile. It's then vented from the side back into the river, laced with cobalt 60. There are no safe levels for these elements in the human body. What is the half-life of tritium? The half-life of tritium is 12.32 years. Very exact, but that's how the half-lives are considered. This means it takes just over 12 years for half of a sample of tritium to decay, primarily through beta decay. Beta decay means it gives off gamma rays, into helium-3. What this means, for any given amount of tritium, half of the original atoms will have decayed after 12.32 years. Naturally occurring tritium, and this is really important, is extremely rare on Earth. The atmosphere has only trace amounts formed by interaction of its gases with cosmic rays that can be produced artificially by irradiation of lithium or lithium-bearing ceramic pebbles in a nuclear reactor. Contamination has already occurred. The latest, which was admitted, event was just this year. Serious, very, very serious contamination. That was tritium, right? They haven't taken into account the cobalt 60. Let's get on to that. The half-life of cobalt 60 is approximately 5.27 years. This means it takes about 5.27 years for half a given amount of cobalt 60 to decay through beta decay into nickel 60, emitting gamma rays in the process. Cobalt 60 is also named Buckminster fullerene and has been detected in the Earth's atmosphere, though typically only in minute trace quantities, usually in the picogram per cubic meter range. It's very rarely produced naturally and is very dangerous, so any contamination needs to be taken seriously. Fastlane and the atomic weapons and nuclear submarines are a threat to the people of Scotland. Nay, kidding. Taking the other side of the argument for them, any politician arguing against their removal, saying that such a move would create a threat to UK security, needs reminding that the whole point of them is an at sea deterrent, and the subs only use Fastlane as a base to restock, sleep, or whatever, and get food, right? Therefore, Fastlane is not irreplaceable. Item 2. The UK Government Energy Minister Ed Miliband is pushing a nuclear future for Scotland to produce electricity and has reportedly started a search for 3 sites to build large nuclear power stations. At the moment, Scotland is awash with electricity produced by wind, by sea waves, and by hydroelectric dams. We already power everything 24 hours a day from these sources and also transmit power to England and Northern Ireland, not just a bit. We have one remaining old nuclear power station at Torness on the east coast, which should be reaching the end of its life in a few years' time. Torness Nuclear Power Station produces roughly about up to 16% of Scotland's total electricity, although this percentage fluctuates wildly from 0 up to that point and is often down. Combined with the now dormant and under a decades-long process of decommissioning, Hunterston B and Torness were once responsible for over 30% of Scottish electricity generation, according to EDF Energy, and also based on 2022 figures from the Department of Energy Security and Net Zero. Department of Energy Security, that's a joke. In a few years, Scotland could actually be nuclear free and still be an energy giant. Get that? We could be nuclear free and still an energy giant. Nuclear generation of electricity is the most expensive of all forms of generation. Also, when decommissioning is considered, along with the centuries-long storage of spent nuclear fuel, nuclear generation is a dangerous and economic mess that Scotland doesn't want or need. Please note, there's still plans afoot to install small modular nuclear power stations in Scotland. So be aware, guys. Therefore, I express a very real warning that Labour or Conservatives or whomever comes after them in Westminster always presents a clear and present danger to the people of Scotland. The sooner Scotland achieves its independence, the safer it will be, not the other way around. Time for independence, 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 as they say in Scotland. Thanks, guys.